Hi, welcome to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm here with another pick a card reading for you. So please pull up and get cozy. We're going to have a little chat today as we explore some messages from your spirit team. Now, I want to welcome back my returning subscribers as always. Anybody new to the channel as well, thank you for being here. Thank you for spending some of your time here with me on this channel. I realize how precious time is, so I appreciate it if you spend time with me here. So thank you for being here. And as a thank you to my subscribers for your presence on my channel, I do offer a chance to win a free tarot reading. And all you have to do is drop your comment below any of my readings this month for your chance to win. I want to congratulate this month's winner as well, who has already reached out to me. We're getting the ball rolling there. And I want to invite anybody who has left comments in the past and who have hit their notification bell to make sure to go back and check your comments, because I am waiting to hear back from one of my recent winners, not my most recent winner, but one of my past recent winners as well. So be sure to check back. I sometimes have a little bit of a trouble getting my winners to reach out to me. So be sure to check your comments as well. And I will notify you in the comment section if you are chosen the winner of the free reading, but I give you clear indications on how to reach out to me and get that ball rolling. But for today's pick a card topic, we're looking at a connection on your mind, and we're asking, how are they feeling? Have they moved on? Do they still care about you? We do have 3 piles to choose from today. Pile number 1 with the tiger, pile number 2 with the honeybee, and pile number 3 with the squirrel card. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there could be messages waiting today from your spirit team. I'm going to jump into pile number 1. Again, today's topic is all about someone on your mind, and have they moved on, or do they still care about you? So we're going to look into their current feelings for you. Pile 1, pile 2, pile number 3. I'm going to jump into pile number 1. Hello, pile number 1. You were drawn to the Ace of Wands here and the Tiger, and this is your reading. Do they still care about you, or have they moved on from this connection? Now, the Ace of Wands here is all about ideas, inspiration. The Tiger is a symbol for me of risk, but also the divine feminine. So you could be resonating with divine feminine energy. This person could be inspired by you, but they could feel like there's risk associated with the inspiration. This also speaks of some type of epiphany that could have come in regarding the divine feminine energy, and maybe risk that should have been taken as well. So let's take a look here. We're going to start with the traditional Rider-Waite for you. For pile number 1, please. How do they currently feel about pile number 1? All of those drawn to the first pile of cards. We're starting with the King of Swords. Have they moved on, or do they still care? 5 of Swords. The Moon. A lot of Scorpio energy coming out. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Oh, we've got a big stack showing itself, but we do have the 4 of Swords. We have the 8 of Pentacles, a bunch of things showing themselves here. 8 of Swords, 9 of Cups. It really gives me the sense of a lot of wishful thinking that's coming in this present moment. Ace of Cups. Back of the deck is the Tower, and there's the 7 of Cups. Now, as I said at the beginning of your pile, this Ace of Wands can speak about an epiphany, and here we have the Tower as your back of deck energy today, and I feel like that is not happenstance. That's not by accident. We're asking the question today, have they moved on? And right in the center of your reading, we have the Moon, which is talking about maybe somebody preparing to release, or who needs to release, perhaps. The full moon specifically asks about what do we need to release, but this person has had certain epiphanies about you. And part of these epiphanies could be whether or not you're their person, for instance, whether or not they've made a huge mistake, because they're definitely obsessing over an idea. So they haven't moved forward from these ideas. When we connect the 5 and the 4 of Swords, that's the 9 of Swords, and it's sandwiching this necessity to release. So they're carrying perhaps a heavy burden in thoughts of you. These thoughts are meant to perhaps inspire some type of movement in the future. In this case, this thought may be inspiring some type of connection or reconnection here. What they're striving for in this overthinking is trying to find peace in their heart over a situation with you. And it hasn't arrived yet. It's in the future position. This person feels like they've really grown up perhaps from the past, or from when the two of you were together, or when the two of you were really spending time together. So there's been growth with this person, and their intelligence has increased. They keep saying that they're smarter now. I feel as if they were confused in the past, they're not confused about how they feel. I feel like they're just overwhelmed with how they feel at this point. The confusion feels like it's gone. But they're also a little bit concerned, and they're in conflict because despite the fact that there's rumination, despite the fact that they have not been able to release, they're worried that they've created permanent damage and that they may not be able to retrieve or salvage anything in this situation. They do perhaps feel like going towards you is some type of risk, but they wonder if that's the only way that they could get peace, is to communicate with you. We have the Four of Swords for the second time, and this is representing this situation with you that still hurts. It's still stinging. They're still a little bit defensive. And they're speaking here about like an education that they've received. They've received an education here, and this education has adjusted they've been adjusted, they're changed inside, but it's also adjusting their ability to approach. And it could be even the reality of their 3D situation, just the reality of what they've lost, the reality of where they're sitting in this moment, maybe the reality of their practical position. We have the Page of Cups. A lot of Scorpio energy and a lot of Pisces energy coming forward for me now at this moment, actually, too. They're in conflict because they don't know if you've moved on. They're in conflict because they're weighing that option about whether or not you still care, or whether or not they're alone in this struggle. And this is the type of person that perhaps habitually will try to protect themselves, and we all do that. We all try to minimize the impact that something's going to have on us. So they have thought about reaching out to you in the past. Even in the recent past, this person is still inspired to create change, but they are worried about the risk that that would create. On a tangible level, for someone watching, the Tower could represent a practical risk that they're taking, not just with their own heart, but maybe with other people's as well. I just heard they fumbled the play. They feel like they fumbled this connection. They feel like they could have had it all. It could have gone so far, and they made a mistake. They fumbled it. And it's almost like they're saying, I didn't know any better at the time. I didn't realize what this was. I didn't realize the potential at the time. But if anything, love has grown. Love has grown. They may have to sometimes turn their back on that truth just to get through the day or get the job done, but love has grown. This person is claiming to care very deeply about you. And there's the Six of Swords coming out sideways, and that's transition into peace and clarity and closure, and it's still in limbo. And together with the 6 and the 4 is the 10 of Swords, so they are really needing to adjust the expectation of maybe even, first of all, they're asking you to adjust your expectation of this person moving forward, but they need to make an adjustment too. And they know in regards to this situation with you, something has to give, some type of change has to happen. And that's where this idea, this inspiration comes in for them about reaching out to you, because that could be where peace comes for them. Clarity, peace. Sometimes we call it closure. This is not closure when we have a new emotional start that begins from it. We have the Page of Pentacles, and in a perfect world, this person is saying that I would get another chance. They're also, this looks to me, I know it's not supposed to be one, but it looks like a fly swatter. And the fly is about being a fly on the wall, but also depression coming in with that too. Here is the High Priestess, and there is the 3 of Swords. They may not share this with other people. They may not even admit it to themselves out loud. But there's a heartbreak here. And they should have said more. It's like they're wishing that they had opened up to you. They wish that they had been honest with you, been more of an open book here in this situation. And I will say this, even though this person, sometimes their logic might tell them they need to release here, they need to let go, they don't know how, and the inspiration really brings them towards perhaps solutions, opportunities, because it's inspiring them to take risk, and the risk that they feel like they want to take is to create some type of clarity between the two of you. It's not over for this person. They have not moved on. And I just heard much to my chagrin. It's like in a perfect world, maybe they could have moved on from this situation so they wouldn't have to feel like they're in such deep conflict, but the conflict's following them. And some of this inspiration to address the conflict could be coming from their higher self to help them get over their own hurdles here. If I were honest, Pile 1, I would say that to this person it's not over, and they may decide to reach out to you in the future as well. They're really thinking about stepping out on a limb. And I feel like time has moved quickly. Like they're speaking about a distance between the two of you within timing, but they're showing bamboo growing. And bamboo grows so quickly. So it's like time has slipped away from me. We have mirror, mirroring each other. Relationships reflect our wounds, and a lot of deep introspection in regards to this attraction. Addiction, codependent, obsession, possession, controlling, has a block, and restraint. And this card is just speaking the truth here. They're very interested in conversing with you. They're very interested in communication with you. Kisses, unconditionally loving, giving and receiving affection, and falling in love. And love on the back of the deck. Unconditional, self-love, oneness, passion, affection, and attraction. This, whenever I see the kisses cards, I always get a sense of a lot of innocence. So maybe this connection didn't even, just skimmed the surface of what was available for us here. Because they want to explore more of that deeply, but this is not based on physical energy. This is based on emotion. This is based on the heart and on reality checks for this person as well. They have had some profound reality checks when it comes to this connection. What are their current thoughts, please, and feelings for pile number 1? Do they still care? Have they moved on? What are their current thoughts, please, about pile number 1? And it flipped to the floor. Love is the answer. And I feel like the answer came in a little too late. It came in after the fact. Have I lost everything? 9 of Swords. And that's what they're worried about. Have I made irrevocable damage? Have I contributed to that? They can't stop going over events in their mind as well, like old conversations, old opportunities. I am too afraid to talk to you in this moment. And so they try to deny how they feel in their words or their actions, but they're not being honest with themselves, and they're not being honest with you. Maybe that was the issue in the past, because it's like they're waiting for confirmation or more confidence. What do you want? To me, you are very special, and there is unfinished cycles in relation to this connection and their attraction. I do dream about you a lot, probably too much. And back of deck, pile 1, I am coming, trust. They are trying to manifest change. This person thinks about you enough that it almost feels like they're trying to conjure you up in some way. What are some of the current thoughts and feelings, please? Do they still care? What are their true feelings? I have changed, but I feel like in a lot of cases, some things never change. Like the attraction. Soulmates, is that what this is? This does feel like the type of person that's a little bit more leaning into their version of logic. They may not be someone that really leans into their intuition. You don't know what you do to me. They're also highlighting beauty. I just saw you're a stunner. That smile. Oh, and I want to call you, but would you answer me? I would not be surprised, pile 1, if this person did reach out to you in the future. This could come in within this next year as well for someone watching. Best friends, I miss that, is on the back of that deck. Let's get some advice for pile number 1, please, in this connection on your mind. What is your advice for pile number 1? We have here the wolf spirit coming out. Turn your knowledge into wisdom. And that's exactly what it feels like in this connection for you, pile 1, is this tower, even if it's an epiphany, even if it stings and it hits us too late, it's still knowledge, it's still clarity. Even if it comes in after the fact, turning that knowledge into wisdom is what we're required to do. We make mistakes, we face change all through our lives, but turning that into wisdom and then acting upon the inspiration that it creates is truly what we're meant to do as spiritual beings here. This person has a lot of loneliness associated with you. There's my light that just went out as well. And here's the squirrel spirit, believe in yourself. And it's the confidence within themselves that I feel like they were lacking in the past, which is maybe why this didn't transition the way that it should have. And it's the same confidence that's being sort of infused upon them or being inspired in them in this moment through the knowing and the deep understanding of this epiphany that's trying to get them to do something with the squirrel energy, to plant that opportunity, to plant the potential. Back of the deck says, Swan Spirit, it's time for a deep dive. And this Swan Spirit is really sort of reminding me a lot of the Queen of Swords, of reflection and going into a stage of judgment where we're reflecting upon the information that we're given. We're reflecting upon what we can do to create change in this situation if we truly want to. And they say that we're going to have to take a deep dive into our own shadow work, into our own emotions, to perhaps because I feel like the two of you might be matched in this inspiration, but you may also feel like you are taking a risk in reaching out, or you're taking a risk in enacting your inspiration towards this person. But this is where the message turns to you and says, believe in yourself. And the squirrel does everything afraid, and it plants a tiny seed, an entire forest can grow out of that effort. Let's get a charm bowl for pile number 1, please. The very last thought that this person had about pile number 1 in the bowl. Regret, pile 1. What is out of the bowl? Strength reversed and the page. So this thought could have been ignited because they've been watching you. They're also highlighting education. The two of you may have gone to school together, but you don't have to have gone to school together. But they have received some type of spiritual education because of what they've suffered here. Some of the most profound teachers that we have are the ones that leave a lasting impression. And so there's a feeling of almost like punishing myself here for my lack of strength, punishing myself with the lesson of like, I should have known better. I should have acted. Lots of regrets about what didn't happen with these thoughts as well. And again, these thoughts, these are supposed to inspire us to find the solutions, not to just wallow in it. We have the chain here, Capricorn energy, Scorpio again in the bowl. We have happy, and we have the reversed, and we also have here expression from the divine feminine. So you may also feel like there was a lot that you didn't get out. And Spirit says you may feel like this inclination to get it out. It's like, I just need closure. I need clarity on this situation. You may feel like that's a necessity for your happiness and peace. Pile number 1, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates. Praying for you always. Please drop your comments below for your chance to win a reading with me, and be sure to hit your notification bell and your like button. You can check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading, and that link is always, those slots are always refreshed daily, so keep checking back. But I hope you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile 2. You were drawn to the Universe card and to the Honeybee, and this is your reading. The person on your mind, have they moved on, or do they still care about this connection? Now, the world does talk about completion. The world does talk about success as well. The honeybee is a symbol of sacrifice sometimes for me, and a lot of work that results in sweet results as well. So this could be a positive sign. This could also be speaking to some unfinished cycles that could exist in a situation. So do they still care? Have they moved on? From pile number 2, please. What are their current feelings at this time? We do have the 2 of Cups. How do they currently feel? Have they moved on? We have the 5 of Wands. We have the 2 of Pentacles. And on the floor, we have the 3 of Swords. Nine of Wands. Two of Wands. Back of the deck, we have the Sun and the Seven of Swords. Okay, so this I feel like is a complicated, practical situation with this person, because the truth is that, like it or not, this person's still holding space for you. But I also feel like they have, maybe there's been practical movement in their life. So maybe their career has changed, their location has changed, their status has changed a little bit. And they have a lot to be grateful for. I feel like they have a lot to be grateful for. There's also a lot of clarity that they feel like they're holding in the situation at this time as well. They feel like they have a lot to be grateful for. I feel like for someone watching, this person could have a relationship, for instance, and there's a lot of good things going for them in that relationship. And Spirit doesn't bring that forward to trigger you in any way, because the truth is they're not really being honest with themselves in that environment. Seven of Swords energy, Temperance here. Temperance highlighted with the 9 and the 5 as well, 14. So they know that time's a wasting, truthfully, is what it feels like. They know that maybe it's taking longer than they would like. It's taking a lot longer than they anticipated for this to really get moved out of their system. It's like they feel like they have to sacrifice how they feel in order to move forward with plans. And I also feel like this wasn't necessarily the plan. I feel like in an ideal situation, there's the Four of Cups. The two of you would have ended up together. This isn't the ideal, but it's like they're trying to make the best out of something. It's like they're trying to ignore their intuition in this moment because they don't know what to do about it at this point. And that could be because there's been a lot of time and they feel like it's too late. Maybe there's a lot of separation. Again, maybe you've moved on into other relationships too. They've moved on. But they're struggling with this hold. It's sort of an exhausting hold for them. Because you represent a lot of beautiful energy. You're not just anyone in their life. You represent home. You represent familiarity. They have a lot of beautiful memories of the two of you together too. And you could have been in a relationship with this person, or sometimes the Six of Cups talks about deep friendships, but with the Two of Cups, there could have been a full-fledged relationship here. And they're not happy with how it all ended. They're not happy with how things are in regards to this connection. They're not satisfied with it. They're trying to empower themselves by moving forward. And again, this person tries to focus on gratitude. They are a very optimistic person, or they try to be. And so they're trying to look on the bright side of the situation, even though they still feel really imbalanced and really disappointed here. But they could be juggling a lot of things, career, relationships. They don't know how to make change because of their current position, or maybe your current position, but they don't know how to make change at this moment. But to be honest with you, I don't think they've quite cracked the code on letting go. Because the Nine of Wands is a hold. It's like, it's a battle within, truly. We can use it for our advantage or against us. We have the Two of Cups again. And there's if they're in a relationship, there's a huge competition for their focus because you are what made them come alive. There's a coming of age story here, and you are what made them come alive. They're playing that Demi Lovato song where she says, I was your amber, now she's your shade of gold. So there's an ignition from the past here. And they can't help but be nostalgic about it. And they can't help but sort of think of that past. Sometimes it makes them feel dissatisfied in their current environment. But I keep hearing passing the torch. So it's like I've tried to pass the torch to someone else. They may also, this could be a very similar situation where two people are actually new relationships because they're concerned about causing drama in relationships at this moment in time by reaching out or by making contact with you. Wheel of Fortune. And when it comes to this situation, this feels like a really old cycle, maybe even a 10-year cycle. Could have been 10 years ago, or been dealing with this for a while. Because it's their strength that pushes the Chariot forward, and the strength is not behind them in the moment. You know, they say the wind is at my back. The wind's not at their back. The wind helps us move forward if it's at our back. In this case, the Strength card is in front of the Wheel of Fortune, which makes it hard to be utilized as strength. You have the Queen of Pentacles. and the Page of Wands. Back of the deck is the Two of Swords, and we have the Seven of Swords. I feel like the Seven of Swords is a little bit of a theme today for today's reading because I saw it in pile 1 as well multiple times. Here at the Two of Swords with the Seven of Swords, I don't think that they talk about you, but I think they think about you all the time. I don't think it's appropriate to talk about you in their environment. I don't think they have the ability to commit to you in this moment because they could already be in commitments, for instance. They try to ignore the thoughts that come up. They try to turn their back on them. And these thoughts are meant to inspire some type of change, whether it be closure or clarity or growth or release. But again, they can't decide what to do about that past conflict. They don't know how to let go at this point. So they have not been able to move on. And I just heard curiosity kills the cat. So they're curious about reaching out to you. They've had fantasies about what it would be like to talk to you, what it would be like to have it almost feels like a flare-up of emotions. They've had these fantasies. I don't know that they would act on this fantasy because they do feel like they're sacrificing a lot. But when they look into the future, part of these fantasies is wondering if you're going to be a part of that future in some way. I don't think that they feel like it's possible in this moment. They are at a crossroads, but you represent a crossroads for them as well. There's an acknowledgement of growth from like youth to even like maybe a motherhood phase or just a phase of abundance, a phase of independence, of growth and maturity. So it's like they feel like they've kind of watched you grow from youth into an adult. And I will say the other thing that keeps them kind of motivated in this fantasy is the curiosity about what you're experiencing. And that's where that message comes in about curiosity kills the cat, because the cat acts independently. Sometimes the cat taps into strength to reach out, for instance. That's where some of this fuel of like intention, this fuel of the desire to speak with you comes in. And I just feel like there's the sense of like, I'll never know where this could have gone. Now, when they think about, here's where the Fool comes in with the World, that they think about taking a risk, they feel like it's not just closure. They know it's a risk to get the Wheel of Fortune in motion. They know it's a risk, but they tell themselves sometimes in these fantasies that this is a spiritual connection. Here is the Six of Swords and the Three of Wands. And sometimes they feel like they put it as a requirement to move on. It's like, I have to converse with you. I have to have the conversation or I can't move on. Now, that's never necessary. We don't actually need other people to gain closure. And the truth is, this wouldn't be closure. Three of Wands, expansion and looking into the future. So they haven't transitioned. They haven't been able to move forward. But they do recognize that they have good things in their life. They recognize the risk that it would require, the sacrifice it would require to create the sweet results with you, which is clarity and honestly, perhaps even relationship cycles, because that was something that they feel like should have happened or they should have explored it longer. They aren't happy with how things progressed. They aren't happy with the separation. And they're holding space with the Two of Pentacles, but it says with the Two of Pentacles, how, when, or if am I going to have the opportunity to do this? I'm stuck in this situation, but they put themselves in that situation. We have stabbed in the back, heartbreak, pain, separation, deception. And the stabbed in the back card always speaks about deceit, and that's why they don't come forward in this moment, because they could be in a commitment cycle at this time. Karmic relationships coming out. Fleeting triggers, turmoil, resentment, lessons, letting go, and loving you. And then we have heartbroken, Three of Swords, center of the reading, and Paradise. Deeply hurt, sad separation, feeling lost. They're still in the grieving and mourning phase. And then we have here playfulness, oneness, enjoying each other, happiness, expansion with Paradise. And this card for me always speaks to like the island and stability. So they could be in a situation where they are building a new island with stability, but I do sense a certain amount of loneliness that exists there. We have here clock, need time, takes time. Time to heal, but trying to make progress here on the back of the deck. Let's get some message cards to see what sort of thoughts they are having. Current thoughts, please, that they are having towards pile number 2. My chair's a little squeaky today, so I apologize. Knight of Pentacles, I just want everything to be perfect. Somebody who's trying to be loyal, perhaps in their current situation. Somebody who took their time because they were waiting for the perfect moment to launch in the past, but maybe that didn't present itself. And now really trying to maintain their position or integrity. I've ruined everything I touched. 7 of Swords. A lot of regret. I'm sitting here adamantly waiting. Maybe they're waiting for contact. Maybe they're waiting for the natural flow of release to just hit them. But that's the thing, is that it doesn't wait for us. We push the Wheel of Fortune forward. I want to look you in the eyes. I want to tell you exactly how I'm feeling. I want to be honest with you. Ooh. It says here, I had blinders on, and if I called you, would you answer me? They spent a lot of time reflecting about whether or not they should call you, what type of response they would receive if they did. It says here, no, I am right where you left me. 6 of Swords. Without clarity, without closure, I am right where you left me. How do they truly feel, please? Do they still care? Spirit has indicated they have not been able to completely sever. I did not follow my heart. And I dream about the life that we almost had together. I don't know how much longer I can do this. Back of deck already says I'm haunted by us. Past life connection. They say that you're at a distance as well. A physical distance, an emotional distance. I do want a new beginning, but I wish I had fought harder for us in this connection. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 2. What was the very last thought that this person had about pile 2 in the bowl today, please? Whoops, one's out of the bowl. 2 are out of the bowl. Regret. 3 of Cups. Reunions. 7 of Cups. You know, they were really thinking about the confusion over your connection, actually. For some, this could have been a friendship. It could have been like thick as thieves here. And there's like a lot of regrets that we didn't transition into something more. They were thinking about wishing that they could go back in time, back to a singular moment, back to an opportunity with you, or just to have a do-over. They're also wondering whether or not this is mutual. And it's kind of addictive. They just showed me 15 of the Devil. It's sort of addictive energy as well. Pisces energy. The Leaf of Change. And we do have the Bird in Flight. This can indicate news on the way that could be forthcoming as well. We have A to Z. We have F. We also have here a little flower. I think of the Trillium with that flower. I don't know why. I think of Ontario. We have the Star of Aquarius. We do have action that wasn't taken here with the horse. And somebody who did not express themselves and is worried that they're going to have to like drown in their own emotion with the Whale. And it's the masculine energy. It says, I choose strength. Leo energy. So perhaps they have chosen a Leo as well. So please take that as it resonates. All right. That is what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. Drop your comment below for your chance to win a reading with me, and be sure to hit your notification bell so that I can notify you if you are chosen. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading, and I update that shop daily, and that link is below too. But I hope you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile number 3. You were drawn here to the 4 of Pentacles and the Squirrel card, and this is your reading. Does the person on your mind still care about you? Have they moved on from this connection? Now, the squirrel in general is a hoarder. The squirrel likes to hoard things. Sometimes they forget where they put them. It's also a very nervous creature. The Four of Pentacles for me can also indicate sort of being stuck in the in-between a little bit in this moment. So we're starting with the King of Wands for you, pile 3. Do they still care, or have they moved on from this connection, to pile number 3, please? 5 of Cups. Oh, we got Empress energy. We have the 3 of Swords. We have the 9 of Swords. We have the 4 of Cups. We have the 5 of Pentacles. You know, pile 3, this particular deck, the Sante Morte Book of the Dead Tarot, it's a very like visually telling deck. I don't think that you'd even have to know anything about tarot or know any of the themes to be able to look at this picture of this story and be able to come up with some type of emotion here of what this person is experiencing. And again, it doesn't take, everyone has intuition, but it doesn't take anyone with intuition. It just takes someone with eyes to be able to see kind of the emotional angst that's happening in this situation. Somebody whose mind is a maze, who've suppressed how they feel. Someone who has to kind of call themselves out in some of these thoughts and actions by maybe not opening themselves up to more connection. Somebody who can't stop thinking about the pain that they may have caused and the pain that they're currently experiencing in the present moment too, because you represent abundance. It's like they've, like, if I was honest with you, pile 3, it's like they've completely surrendered to this disappointment. This person is, I feel like they can't let go. I feel like they're afraid to let go. Here's the 8 of Pentacles and there's the 6 of Cups. And that's the reason, like, there's so much emotional connection with the 6 of Cups in this collaboration. And they don't feel like they put the work in or something. You can even see here with the coin purse that there's stitches on the side of this coin purse, indicating that I could lose investments that I put in, indicating that maybe some of my investments actually already have slipped out. And there's a sense of wanting to mend things, feeling a really strong physical separation too. So you could be living in completely different places at this point in time as well. Their focus is on you, full stop. I feel like this is, again, such a rumination. I think this focus is daily. We don't just arrive here because we happen to have a singular thought during the day. We arrive at the 9 of Swords because we've made a habit out of this. We've made a habit out of ruminating. We've made a habit out of torturing ourselves truly with the loss. They're torturing themselves, and I feel like they're calling themselves out. They keep saying, I'm calling a spade, and it's towards themselves. But they're also kind of calling you out in the same time too for keeping yourself hidden. We have the Fool. Yeah, it's like this person, I don't know that they would know what to do with it if they didn't keep hope as a constant companion towards this situation in the future. Because this situation anchors them. This is like they're being called to get themselves out of this rumination cycle because it's not good for them, if I'm honest. It feels very addictive. I feel like this person could habitually watch you too. And that's not, I don't want to sound creepy with that, but I just feel like they make a habit out of this. It's kind of obsessive and it tortures themselves. And if they are watching you, I will say they do like what they see. Empress energy, of course they do. 4 of Pentacles right in the center of your reading. Just to double down on that message of attachment. They keep it close to their heart because that's their way of keeping their heart protected because they've invested so much of their heart here. And now I'm hearing that old country song, You Are Always on My Mind. Yeah. And they're showing like Willie Nelson. So like this could be old standing. This could be a couple of years that this has happened, that this has been ruminating. Because with the Wheel of Fortune supporting this 4 of Cups, there's not a lot of hopeful energy being projected in this scene. You can see that their head is tipped over. Their head is a cup. It's dropping all of the emotion on the floor. And they're showing me like the sandals. They're really specifying the sandals, and they're actually calling them Jesus sandals. So they're really maybe highlighting, honestly, they're showing me the crucifixion now. So they're really highlighting victim mentality that has hit this person, and a sense of suspension. We have the Sun. Back of the deck is the Justice, supporting the Eight of Pentacles with the Hermit. A lot of Libra, a lot of Virgo energy, some Leo energy scattered in here as well. And there's the Emperor and the Devil with the Page of Wands. So this person is attached, Pile 3. They absolutely still care. It's like they almost care too much, if I'm honest with you, because it's creating an addictive energy towards this person. And honestly, it only sort of, it creates a lot of loneliness. This person has a lot of lonely energy here too. They know that something has to be adjusted. Something has to shift and change here in this situation. But this person really likens themselves. Here's the Emperor and the Empress. Multiple times, this person really likens themselves as your counterpart, thinking that the two of you, there was a destiny here. And we can't ignore the major arcanic themes that are flanking this reading. The impression that you left, the different themes that you influence in their life. When it comes to helplessness, when it comes to regret, when it comes to loss, you're influencing all of those themes. Even with the Five of Pentacles and the physical, tangible addiction and attachment to you, it's a bit of a red flag for this person. It's supposed to show them the necessity for their own hearts to heal, because it just makes them feel vulnerable. They keep obsessing over their freedom of choice and how they didn't make the right one. So that's something that's really plaguing them too. And there's so much they didn't say about the attraction. There's so much they didn't say. And they're highlighting the Princess and the Pea now as well, about something that I can't sleep through it. And it's just little moments, little opportunities that eat away at me. I can't sleep through it. It's like little tiny opportunities that I didn't take. It's like it just eats away at me because it could have changed everything. One word, one conversation, one risk could have changed everything. And they let their nerves get in the way. And so now they're just sort of perpetually carrying that lesson with them. So I feel like this person is very much too focused, if I was honest, a little bit too focused for their own good. It does cause them to perhaps even watch you online. It leads to a huge sort of education. Wedding rings, wedding, married, soul connection, eternal love, everlasting promise. This could indicate commitment cycles for you or for them. This also indicates kind of what they fantasize about, what they wished for in this situation. Trying to make healthy choices in love and life. And they need to. That's what Spirit's saying. This rumination, this isn't healthy. It's almost presenting it as like a crush situation. But the crush is like they're showing literally something being crushed. We have the Snake. Competition, looking over your shoulder in the other woman. So if this person is, karmic relationship on the back of the deck, they could be in a karmic relationship. And that's where the obstacles really hit them, because even with all of this clarity, they don't feel like they can do anything about it. Because they feel like they could perhaps have a lot to lose. Or if they're watching you, they could be privy to what you have to lose as well. I'm going to pull out some message cards here to see what sort of thoughts they are having towards Pile 3, please. I just thought I want to reconcile with you. It flopped right over as soon as I started shuffling. You have been by my side, and I cherish you for that. And I believe that, again, all of these themes represent all of these major events, all of these major situations that we deal with in life. And even if you haven't been physically together, you've been influencing them. Because they're holding on to it like a squirrel, like they're hoarding two different experiences. I've been hurt by love before. They may have been hurt by this love before. And I've been situating this karmic situation. So if there is karmic relationships, if there are karmic trenches that we're walking on, They're calling themselves out. I have been hurting without you. You have no idea. I do act happy, but I'm not. I'm not used to a connection like this, so I run. I really hate not communicating with you as much as I want to, on the back of that deck. How do they currently feel, please, about pile number 3? Do they still care? What are their current thoughts, please, about the situation? You and I were too young when all of this began. And my life is not as together as it seems. I left when I saw you with someone. They're already showing me, though, I want to tell you how I feel on the back of that deck. So they are viewing you, or they have watched you in some way. You've been speaking to me through music. And they are super nostalgic about the past as well. They just keep thinking about certain events, certain opportunities. I really wish that things could be different. I do regret lying to you, is on the back of that deck. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 3. What is the very last thought that this person on pile 3's mind thought about pile 3? King of Swords coming out, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Like a weakness of like not feeling ready, not feeling confident enough. It's like they feel like they kept themselves hidden, or they kept themselves safe. And now there's like a sense of like, I've adopted a new outlook. It's like I'm no longer restricted by those things from the past. I'm just restricted by other things. And I feel like the things that they're restricted by now are very practical. It's like the emotional things that we were worried about in the past have now taken on some type of tangible form in the present. And so now they're really kind of obsessing over that and kind of torturing themselves with, I stopped myself then for this reason, and what a stupid reason that was. And now I don't have that reason anymore. I don't have that fear anymore, but now I have this big obstacle in front of me. So it's like they're really kind of in that victim mode about, you know, why does it happen this way? Why is it always right person, wrong timing? We have feel, we have you and X, Leo energy, and you can even see the peace sign is in limbo, so not a lot of clarity or peace here. Keys, so they've been holding back secrets. We have Hello Kitty. And we do have the black triangle. I do think of third party, so please take that as it resonates. It's also highlighting with the black energy of like endings, the death energy, of course, as well. Pile number 3, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates. Drop your comment below for your chance to win a free reading with me, and be sure to hit your notification bell so that I can notify you if you are chosen. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading if you feel called to, and that link is below and gets updated daily, so keep checking back. But I hope you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage. I hope you have a beautiful day.